Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Unscripted. Already in the chat, we have Faithful Blue Wrench Connie Cleary, friend of the channel Deep Henzak, host of Geeky Geezers, which will be starting in just under an hour, Aged Boomer. And his co-host and host of Friday Night Last Call, Roy Pacelli. Gorilla's Random Thoughts in the house. Have to watch tomorrow, but wanted to say hi. Quite all right. Big Out presents and Netters Network. All right. Thank you all for being here. Hope everybody had a good weekend. For those of you who are watching the show for the first time, this is an opinion show. And any thoughts I may express are completely mine. And you're not always going to agree, but let me have the chance to hear me out. Now, this is a show that was kind of inspired by Loki's Mornings of Mischief or Culture Casino's pre-flight show. It's basically what this is, but it's just my little spin on it and my opinions on the events of the week in the way that I see them. Now, some of you are probably aware of the situation behind the scenes with Scream 7. Full disclosure, I haven't seen any of them after part 4. I have no personal opinions on 5 or 6. I haven't seen enough of them to make a decision either way. So I want to preface this by saying tonight, this is not me telling you not to go see these movies. Very simply, have your own opinion on them, And in the chat and in the comments, let me know if you've seen them and what you think. Because the reviews I've heard have been very mixed. Now, the Scream movies, for whatever their quality might be, they do pretty well. And whenever a movie does well, they tend to make a sequel. The sequel does well, it becomes a franchise. Then it kind of goes on forever. For right or wrong. Boomer says I liked 5, and he says I liked 5. 6 was okay. Yeah. I liked the first one, and then I think they just kind of decline in quality after that. 4's okay. All right, now again, I want to preface this. The whole situation going on right now between Israel and Hamas. I have not said a whole lot about it on my channel, and I hadn't really intended to do so, and I still don't. But since the subject that I'm going into tonight is going to touch on it, then I want to warn everybody right now that this is not me making any statements about the war itself in particular. I am talking about other people's statements about it. And my thoughts on whether or not that was a wise decision for certain people to make certain statements. Now, as you all may be aware, Melissa Barrera, the star of Scream 5 and 6, has been fired by the studio making Scream 7. She's not going to be in the next film. And the reason given for this were controversial statements that she made about the Israel and Hamas conflict on Twitter. Jenna Ortega, who plays her sister in those films, has dropped out of the next movie. She is citing scheduling with the Wednesday series. Now, you could construe that she left the movie out of solidarity to her co-star, or you could say because the strikes pushed so many projects back, you could say that there was a scheduling issue. Now, I'm not one to say which one is true. They could both be true. Is it too soon to blame the strike on this one? Like I said, I don't know. But it's certainly damn good timing. Because whenever someone is involved with a television show or a film, they schedule these things in advance, obviously. So saying that there's a scheduling conflict here when that would have been worked out previously is kind of disingenuous. However, you do have the strikes. And the strikes pushed back the schedules of a lot of films and a lot of TV shows. And some of them got canceled entirely because of it. So as far as Jenna Ortega is concerned, you could say that either one or both is true, I think. Now, Courtney Cox, who's an OG character, she goes all the way back to the original film, as you know. She has now dropped out of the movie. And she's angry at the studio. Now, you have a film where your lead 3 actresses have either been fired or have quit the film. Now, they could go back and try and get Neve Campbell to come back. But since They refused to pay her what she wanted, even though she's an OG character and people are going to the movie to see her. That's why she wasn't in part 6. And you think after everything that's been going on behind the scenes with this movie, she's going to want to come back to that? This movie's dead, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scream fans. It's over. Now, I want to go back to what the real point of this topic is. And while I'm not here to say that what Melissa Barrera said in her statements was correct or not. I am not here to judge that part of it. What I am here to judge is the fact that actors in Hollywood, especially the ones who are raised on social media, and I'm going to be blunt about this, they don't know how to shut up. Now, I'm not here to say that they don't have First Amendment rights. This is not a free speech issue. This is a what's wise to say issue. This is not about whether or not someone can voice an opinion either way. It's should they? Because you're going to have people who are always going to vote the other way, so to speak. There are people that are going to have different opinions from you, and if you're on social media, they're going to jump all over you. And when what's wrong with people in Hollywood is they don't seem to understand two things. They don't understand that the internet is forever, and that even if they delete a tweet or a post or a picture or whatever, it's still going to be out there. People are going to find it. They're going to retweet it. Hell, a data racer's entire Twitter feed is based on it. Now, the other thing that's wrong with Hollywood is they think they have some sort of moral authority over us. They think they decided, therefore it should be done. And they need to figure out that their actions also have consequences. This actress went and said something that was controversial, and she got fired for it. And that's on her. And it ain't on us. Every time one of these movies tanks, suddenly the fans are ists and phobes. And I'm thinking it's time for Hollywood to turn that mirror around on themselves. quit blaming us and going to where the problem is at. It's with themselves. Now, again, I am not here to say that what this girl said was right or wrong. Or, I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the politics of it. I'm not here to talk about whether or not she should have been fired. I think the studio maybe should have waited a bit and let things calm down and then decided what they were going to do. But the point is, she had to expect a reaction. You have a situation going on in the world where people have chosen sides against one or the other. And the problem with Hollywood actors is they tend to think that what we say matters to the general public. And doesn't mean shit to the general public. We don't care. You're an actor, act, motherfucker. You know? Keep your politics at home and make an entertaining movie. If you can't, we are not going to have time for you. And as Troy says in the chat, Ricky Gervais was right. Ricky Gervais was absolutely right. Everything he said during that Golden Globe show, he was absolutely right about. Kurt Russell is right when he says that, hey, we're court jesters. People don't care what we think. They just want an entertaining film. And that's why Kurt Russell's the coolest motherfucker on the planet. And everybody goes to see his movies because he just wants to entertain people. And the younger generations have forgotten that for sure, because they're like these little Twitter people who just believe what they're being told on social media and being told that they're the best all the time when they're not. And the older generations are not really all that good at it either, because Susan Sarandon went out, said pretty much the same thing, and now her management has fired her, So in a way, I'm not really upset because it's that circular firing squad mentality that the woke seem to have. This is the woke eating each other now. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's really funny. I really do. And I think it's about time. These people who think that they have some sort of moral authority over us, and they keep saying the same line, the right side of history. Saying it's okay to eradicate the Jews ain't on the right side of history, folks. I'm sorry, but it ain't. So Hollywood, you're going to have to make the choice. Are you living in present day, or are you living in Berlin in 1939? Because the two are starting to look kind of similar from my point of view. So here we are. You have the lead three actresses of an upcoming movie who have quit the production. And Honestly, I don't think anybody really cares. Because who wanted to scream 7? I didn't. Honestly, they should have stopped at 3. To be honest, they really should have stopped after the first one. But this goes beyond a movie nobody wanted being canceled. And understand it hasn't been canceled yet. I think it will, but what I really wanted to talk about tonight was the fact that you have these holier than thou types in Hollywood who, I'm talking about the people who shielded Harvey Weinstein all those years. And then turned around and made a movie, she said, where it was like, oh no, we were against him the entire time. We were looking for ways to get rid of him. No, you weren't. Hey, um, we don't like the Yahtzees, but we're going to act like them in every way. We support Queers for Palestine, and then you want to go? Should we tell them? Yeah, go to Palestine, get thrown off the roof of a building. Why don't you? Or you can just follow along like lemmings, which I think is what this girl did, what Melissa Barrera did. I don't think she thought out her statement. I think the studio shouldn't have fired her so fast. I think they should have waited. I think they should have looked into it more. Two knee jerk reactions don't make a right, folks. I'm supposed to cry that some Hollywood actress got fired off of a movie because she said something stupid. You know what? I don't care. I really don't. I think it's about time these people got called out for their crap. Ricky Gervais was right, as Troy says. So, again, I want to make it clear that this is not, in my opinion, some kind of First Amendment issue. I'm saying, you know what? Go say whatever you want about whoever you want. I have a right not to agree with you. Agree to disagree. And I think people have forgotten about how to do that. Depends. Says in recent times, it's interesting to compare interviews of celebrities to the past, Davis, Crawford, etc., to those of today to see the tactics used. Yeah, I mean, because back then, celebrities had handlers. They had people around them. Hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't talk about this in the interview. You know, you know. But now, you have this TikTok generation that just goes out and says and does whatever, thinking there's not going to be any consequences. And right or wrong, this time there was a consequence. If you create a world where people can be shunned for their political beliefs or fired from a job, you can't cry if that same thing happens to you. You got your own tactics used against you. Live with it. Learn from it. All right, that's the end of the rant for today. Hollywood has no moral authority over you. We know, in light of certain things that have come out, that it's a sewer. And if they are going to continue to dump this political BS into their movies, then let's review them accordingly. Or, and here's something that's real easy, just close our wallets. Move on. There are other things. All right, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move on to my What's on My Shelf segment. And my video pick of the week are two recent movies that actually are worth watching that I did shows about this week. And of course, that's Sisu and Oppenheimer. Two of the best movies of the year. They are now out on 4K, as you see. So check them out. All right. And for my random book off the shelf, inspired by Criminali, who at the end of his videos takes a random book off of his shelf and shows it off. I want to give a shout out to all of my subs who enjoy anime and manga. And here's Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's flip through a couple of pages here. All right. So video picks of the week. Sisu and Oppenheimer. And Jujutsu Kaisen. All right. So does anybody in the chat have any questions or anything they would like to discuss? This is your part of the show. So hit me with your best shot. I will give you a chance to type out your questions. I want to remind everybody that at the top of the hour over on Aged Boomers channel is Geeky Geezers. Troy will be co-hosting. I'll be in the chat. That'll be at 9 o'clock over on Aged Boomers channel. When that's done, go over, get yourself a beverage and a snack, and check out The Other Side of Midnight. That'll be at 12:05 a.m., 11:05 Central. Gary Kissel of Pop Culture Minefield is going to be my guest. So join us there. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about future plans for his channel. And he's got a book getting ready to come out. So we're going to talk about that. All right. Both D. Penzak and Big Al Presents are asking, am I any plans to see Napoleon? I do plan to see it. I just don't know when I am going to have the chance to see it. When I do plan to review it. Yes. And in fact, tomorrow night will be a mystery movie night at the Regal. I have bought my tickets, so I'm going to go. And again, it's mystery movie night. I don't know what the movie's going to be. My guess is it's going to be The Iron Claw. We'll see. And after that movie is over, I will review it. And hello to Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Will you check out Godzilla -1? Yes. Yes, I am. I do plan to see that. And I hope it's as good as it looks. Just about to pull the trigger on Apple TV for at least 7 days to watch Tetris. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Tetris. I haven't seen the movie yet myself, but when I get around to it, I will review it. And maybe get my Rebecca Ferguson fix on Silo. Yeah, nice. Big Al Presents says, I want to see that. Was a big wrestling fan. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what the wrestling fans here on YouTube have to say about that movie. It's The Iron Claw. It's about the Von Erichs. All right. Let's see. Lester loves me some Rebecca Ferguson, especially in Rogue Nation. Yeah, definitely. All right. All right, folks, we have a little bit of extra time. If you want to hit me with some questions before I wrap things up, now is the time. Anything that you would like to bring up about tonight's topic, or if you have any other ideas for things you would like to talk about, any thoughts or any suggestions for stuff to review in the future? Have I seen Marlowe? No, not yet. What 4K is next on your sites? I'm trying to think, because there was one that got brought up on Twitter. I don't remember if it was Bill Hunt or or Disc Father brought it up. Well, one that I would really like to get. I would really like to get my hands on is the 4K that Vinegar Syndrome has for Existence, the David Cronenberg movie from '99. I'd really like to get a copy of that at some point. I've been thinking of ordering it. I gotta go back and look at the site and see if there are any more copies left, but that's definitely one. I'm looking forward to seeing how the 4Ks for Aliens and True Lies. I want to see how that turns out. If anybody says they look like crap, I'm not going to bother to buy them. But if they're up to spec, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. Did I get any Black Friday deals? Actually, yes. And I'm going to go and show this. I don't know if anybody can really tell on the screen here. This is my old phone. And as you see, I had a bit of an accident. I dropped my phone and completely shattered the screen here. So no more of that. And I got my new Motorola phone right here. So I got a deal on this. I got a deal on a new phone. So that was the Black Friday deal that I got this time around. The places I normally go didn't really have a big select. That didn't really have anything on sale that I was really interested in seeing. Now I'm hearing that there was a like a 70-inch 4K TV that was going for $399 at supposedly at Best Buy. I don't know. I'm not really going to buy a new TV right now. The one I got works perfectly fine. But I tell you that for that price, yeah, under normal circumstances, I'd have taken it. All right. Compare and contrast Barrera with Carano. Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, if you look through the section of videos marked unboxings, then you will know that I already unboxed Sizu during that one of those broadcasts, along with the first Mission Impossible 4K. But now that I have the Oppenheimer 4K, I've watched it already, so it has been opened, but I do want to show it off. It is a 3-disc set. There's the digital code right there. There's the 4K. There's the Blu-ray and the special features disc. So this is a 3-disc set. Now, supposedly Best Buy had a steelbook, but when I went, I didn't see one. So I just went with what they had, which is fine. It works just as well. And I've watched it already in the disc. Looks and sounds fantastic. So Oppenheimer 4K. Check that out if you missed it in theaters. And check out the show that I was on with Pulp Culture Minefield, Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge, and Martin Acosta Santana, where we talked about the movie. It's a good show. We had a lot of fun. So check that episode out. You can find a simulcast for that on my channel, and the complete uncut broadcast over on Pop Culture Minefield. All right, so unless there are any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show for this evening. I want to remind everybody that Geeky Geezers is going to be starting here in about 16 minutes. I'm going to be in the chat, as usual, watching the show. Plus, of course, stick around afterward for the other side of midnight, where Pop Culture Minefield is going to join me for the program. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be reviewing the mystery movie at the Regal. Tuesday night at 8:30, live from Sparkwood and 21, Troy, Netter, and Boomer and I are going to be watching episode 6 of Twin Peaks. And of course, I have some other movie reviews coming up, and I might have one or two other surprises. I want to once again thank the chat. Connie Cleary, Dee Penzak, Troy and Netter, Boomer, Lester, Big Al Presents. Let me scroll up. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I want to thank everybody lurking in the background. Perfectly fine. You don't have to engage with the chat, just as long as you enjoyed the show. I want to once again thank all of you for being here and listening to the show. Any opinion is mine, and this is kind of my chance to vent on some things. And I'm glad that you all stick around week to week and watch the show. And you guys are why I continue these broadcasts. And so thank you for watching, and thank you for the encouragement. Please hit the like, share out the stream. If you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. I am 27 subs away from 300. So if you want to see a 300 subscriber show, get the word out and let all of your friends know about the show. Let them know about my channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Say hello in the comments because it helps with the algorithm. And thank you, Dee. Always good to see you in the chats. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. From HQ. This is how we win.